Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your June 2023 Love and General reading. I'm Gemstone Tarot and this is for you if you are Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising or Venus. Okay, what do we need to know for my lovely Sagittarians for June 2023? That one. Ooh. That's a very different energy than I've had for any other star sign so far. You know that King of Swords that's been following us around and that whole kind of sense of slight battle? I've got the Five of Swords here, which is the energy of dealing with a silent enemy or dealing with somebody who is trying to outmaneuver you. It can be, with this card, we've got like someone who's on the battlefield, but they didn't partake in the battle, but they're going around picking up the swords afterwards. And whichever way you look at that, it's not the most upfront mode of behaviour, you know? And also it tells you there is a battlefield of some kind. You also get with it the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is something that cuts quite deep. It can be old wounds, it can be an old argument. It's a three and it kind of moves in a dialectic like a triangle, and it feels like something that's just keeps biting you on the arse and you can't quite get rid of it. And it's all sword energy, which is not very Sagittarian. It's not got that easy free love vibe that Sagittarians have, you know, a sort of live and let live. It's more of a, yeah, the opposite of that, I think. So this is not your energy, but I do feel it's the energy of someone who's on the periphery of your life or maybe a bit further into your life. I don't know. Let's have a look. Something for you in 2023, all the readings I've done for you virtually have this kind of strife element, which is not very Sagittarian. You know, it's not the Jupiter energy, but it is something I think you do need to deal with. Yeah. The next two cards I get for you are the World, which is a cycle and tells us that this is a cycle. And, you know, with cycles, it usually means you've been there before, but it's certainly coming up for you to be healed. Okay, so it can be a cycle with that Three of Swords that has its roots in a very old wound, you know, so you find yourself confronting something from the past that you hadn't necessarily linked to what was going on now, but it has got something to do with it. And quite a big something to do with it as well. You know, a World card is Major Arcana. It's the last card of the Major Arcana. And it's telling you to look back to when you were the Fool, to look back to the beginning and what was going on for you there. And I don't know, also with the World card, I get the Four of Swords, which is the energy of peace, finding peace, making peace, keeping peace. Now, it doesn't mean that you need to keep the peace with whoever this sword person is. Could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Could be an organisation, could be work. Whoever it is or whatever it is, it's put there to kind of restrict you, or it does restrict you. This, you know, usually with the Five of Swords, which is Venus and Aquarius, a sense of detachment. There is somebody else involved in it. It can be something that you do to yourself as well, where you're kind of restricting yourself. But it usually has something to do with someone else. Now, there's some heavy Virgo energy here. We've got the Hermit, which is the card for Virgo, and also the card for taking time to go within and see what the lamp is trying to show you. Okay, with the Eight of Pentacles, Sun in Virgo again. Now, oh, I love this Eight of Pentacles. The cowboy making these CND signs is so nice. this can be about work. It can be about what you do every day. It can be about working on something. So you need to work on this. It keeps coming up for you as a powerful lesson. I don't really know what it is, and it will probably be different because you're all individuals, and it, you know, be this for someone and that for someone else. But there's an energy here of needing to work through something and needing to attack what it is and get to your own inner wisdom in order to do that. And the inner wisdom is represented by the lamp. For one or two of you, if you can't solve this on your own, and you'd be completely forgiven for not being able to, turn to a trusted person, whether it's a friend, whether it's a therapist. The hermit could represent for you the guru, you know, the trusted person. Because again, with this card, it's like the work card. You need to work at this. You need to chip away at this. And for some of you, this could be a work situation. You know, like being micromanaged by a boss, and it may be that this has been going on for a while, and it may be that you end up not staying there. You know, there are differing levels of advice for what to do with a nasty boss. I've been there, you know, and bosses don't like Sagittarians. If you don't have a Sagittarian type boss and you get someone who's very, I need to know where you are at all times, you know, micromanagey, it's not going to work well. So there may be a decision to be made about whether you stick around for that or whether you look for something better. In my experience of a nasty boss, unless they're going to move on, you probably are. I'm a Pisces. I'm a freedom-loving sign like you are. We're both ruled by Jupiter. We're both mutable. And whatever the fairness is about a situation, you don't want to live your life like a living kind of prison. And there we go. I mean, that just kind of says it all, doesn't it? That Eight of Swords has come up for every single star sign this month. Every single one. In different decks. So this is Jupiter again in Gemini. So Gemini is your opposite sign as well. And I just feel like it's about communication. You may, for some reason, have been trying to protect somebody or not spoken up about something because it's not been possible, or whatever the reason is. There now comes a time when I think you might decide you need to do that, because it becomes more painful to stay the same. Okay. 10 of Wands. Yeah. Time to let go of holding on to that particular baggage. However you do that, with assistance, on your own, it's quite possible for you to do it. Should we have a look at your love life? Yes. I kind of knew you were going to get that card. For your love life, you get the Page of Swords. This is initial communication. It's internet communication. It's text messages. It's the beginning of a conversation with somebody. It's quite a nice card to get. Could be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It's a gentle energy. It can be online dating. It can be being asked out. It can be like a text from someone that you've been waiting to hear from. You get it with the Seven of Cups, which is just a card that is saying to you to watch out a little bit. There's something about the Seven of Cups that there is a fantasy future element to this. You need to make sure with your love life that what strides you are making with somebody remain based in reality. So, for example, with the Page of Swords, if you've been talking to someone online, but they're not making any plans to meet you, that would be a red flag, you know. Page of Swords can also be if you're in a situationship or a relationship with somebody and they're future talking a lot, but they're not following through, that would also be a red flag. And then here we have, and I knew you were going to get that Guru card because I mentioned it with the Hermit. And it's one of those tarot reader things when you mention something and you think they're going to get that card. So pay attention to that because it's coming up for your love life. It represents the Hierophant, which I quite like, but it also represents convention, such as getting married, you know, being a part of the establishment. And you may be invited to be a part of the establishment in your love life. Somebody might want a commitment. It might be you. Issues of commitment do circle around the Guru. And just for a few of you, the earlier reading about the Three of Swords and the Hermit and, you know, the need to change, that might be that just for a few of you, someone's keeping you in a position in your love life you don't want to be in. Maybe of not knowing where you stand, or maybe of whatever it is. You will need to make a decision this month, if you can, about what's for you and what's not. You know, and it may just literally come down to that. Am I for this or against it? It's like the thumbs up and the thumbs down, you know. And then with the Guru, we get the Sun, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous energy. For some of you, this Guru is a person that you're involved with romantically or could meet. Somebody who is perhaps a spiritual person. Somebody who knows a lot of things, which is nice because Sagittarius has a very inquisitive mind. You like broad subjects, esoteric subjects. Could also be a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Nice. It seems like your love life is perhaps easier than your work and your sort of destiny. Oh, she said, okay, let's have a look at that. So for your love life, I then get Seven of Swords with the Six of Wands. Somehow you triumph over that. Also, when I get the Seven of Swords and it's not in a kind of difficult context, which this isn't, it means that somewhere along the line, if you play your cards close to your chest, you're going to have a very good outcome. So Sagittarius, you are normally, I wouldn't say heart on the sleeve, but you don't hide a lot. It's not really in your nature. It doesn't really do you a lot of good to hide things. But this isn't hiding things. This is playing your cards close to your chest. You may need to play your cards close to your chest. That could really work for you in this scenario. In other words, it's on a need-to-know basis. So if you looked at the page and the Page of Swords with the Seven of Cups, you could say, let's say you were talking to someone online and they were fishing to find out what you felt about them, but you haven't really met up with them. That might be a need-to-know basis where you don't really reveal much because you don't know if it's going anywhere. Okay? Nice. Outcome cards. I get the Chariot, which a lot of people have had this month as well. Cancerian energy, but generally it's good. It's keeping the show on the road. It's managing the conflicts and managing to keep steering the chariot one way or another. And you get that with the Ten of Pentacles, which again, it's an earth sign card and it's potentially a lot of stability to do with finance, to do with career, and to do with your love life. You get there in the end, Sagittarius, but you really do need to deal with whatever that is in your life, okay? You can't allow this sort of surreptitious, you know, I'm just going to have to be blunt and say you can't allow yourself to be dicked around like that, because that's what's in my head. So I'm just going to say it. Okay, Saggy, let's have a love card for you. Nice. That's really nice. Belinda Grace Love Oracle cards, you get connection. This is very important, obviously, and it's about whether you have a true connection. You can't make a true connection if both sides aren't being honest or they're not both open and upfront. And I think that's what you're slowly going to find out. It's what you're slowly working on. How much you can open up, how honest you can be when you've kind of assessed what's going on with them, and underneath it all, eradicated whatever that is. Okay? Woof! Sagittarius, please leave me a comment about this reading, because I'm very intrigued to know what's going on with you lovely Sagittarians, because you're quite the star sign to be. It's the one I'd choose if I could choose what to be. My midheaven is in Sagittarius, which I'm very pleased about. But I can see that that particular part of your life needs dealing with, and I want to see you thrive, okay? So leave me a comment, let me know what's happening, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.